We've all grown up watching cartoons, which means we've all been exposed to some garbage tropes. The types of stuff that got our younger selves rubbing our foreheads while sighing in sheer frustration. Today we're talking about exactly that. The second part of the worst cartoon tropes. So, let's not waste any more time, and let's begin. Bro, let's just get the creepiest one out of the way. This right here, this is straight up illegal. Like, ending up in prison type of forbidden. I think we've all witnessed a younger character who is in love with an older character. Much older. And normally, that'd be fine, you know? I feel like most of us had a crush on someone who was older as a kid. There's no real harm in that. But bro, there are some moments that make me concerned for the future. They're already full on sniffing the seat once their crush stand up. So, just imagine the freak they're turning into once they're a motherfucking adult. Will he be walking free? Well, God knows. They're lucky that they have the "I'm just a kid" card. And they're aware of that, so they're making sure to full on abuse that cheat code. All the older characters can do is being like, oh cute. Laughing it off, trying to act like they aren't bothered by a kid trying to pull their pants down. That by itself is already bad enough, right? But what's worse is when the older character reciprocates their feelings, making my jaw touch the floor out of pure shock, rubbing my eyes continuously to a point where I see... fuck's sake, it's still on my screen. Which characters do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you. Let's start off with Clyde and Laurie from the Loud House. Clyde is... well, he's a fucking creep. This guy's essentially just a pervy old man who got reincarnated in a child's body. Sure, I make complaints about that guy, but there was this one episode where Laurie thought 11-year-old Clyde was in love with Lenny. So 17-year-old Laurie tried to win him back. She had a boyfriend during all of this. Like, imagine you found out your girlfriend is trying to win the heart of a young boy. What the fuck are you supposed to feel? Sadness? Betrayal? Am I supposed to laugh? How am I supposed to cope with the fact that I lost against a primary schooler? And that obviously is not the only example. We also have PB and Finn from Adventure Time. You're 1,000 years old, and during that entire time, you never matured enough to realize you shouldn't lead a 30-year-old boy on. I always hated this character, but I never was able to put my finger on why that is. But after writing the script, yeah, I know now. This isn't really a cartoon thing, most of the stuff isn't, but I'm calling them out regardless. Because the way they happen is actually enraging. So, you have this perfect couple, nothing can get in between them. But then, we see one of these characters just throwing that shit away for no reason. Losing everything in the process, which is, you know, deserved. Like, I think we're all sick and tired of seeing this shit. You see this guy who has a girl who accepts everything about him. Even the most fucked up flaws. They share the same hobbies. The girl is funny, and she's just a nice vibe to be around. It's the type of shit our lonely asses are looking at with murder in our minds. Like, give us that shit, you know? But then in comes the most bland girl you can imagine. If she was food, she would probably be a dry-ass cracker, white rice, or maybe even plain tofu. You get the idea. She's the type of person that would force your eyes shut with how boring she actually is. And while we all see the personification of a shitty lullaby, the guy for some reason sees her as the perfect wifey material. And so we waste 11 minutes of our lives hearing,
"You kissed my boyfriend, you filthy boyfriend kisser."
A lot of screaming, which I'm not gonna do. All while the guy's just standing there, eating some popcorn and just enjoying the world war that he has caused. And if that shit sounds familiar, it's probably because you've watched shows like Regular Show, where this trope was the most noticeable, with Mordecai essentially dropping CJ because he wasn't over Margaret yet. The same Margaret that had a new boyfriend every episode. If you've watched Regular Show, I can ask you right here, right now what her personality is like. And you'd probably be standing there, scratching your head, and after 5 minutes of thinking, you'd probably be like, she's kind of nice, I guess. And maybe if that doesn't sound familiar, we also have Duncan, Courtney, and Gwen in Total Drama. I am kind of cheating though. Not in the way Duncan was. More in the way that Duncan and Courtney already were the most dysfunctional couple you could think of. Having him sign literal legal papers. So, can I really blame him for cheating? Yes. I can't be the only one that's cheerleading for the villain sometimes, right? Some supposed heroes are moving like full-time dictators. You expect me to lick their boots? Hell no, bro. But even though some heroes took notes from Kim Jong-un, the villains are always snorting something. because they have this goal, right? They're working hard on achieving it. Being shit like world domination, destroying somebody, or just stealing. They're always moving like Einstein when coming up with flawless plans, but when executing it, they're moving like a veteran that lost its limbs, suffers from PTSD, and is born with severe autism and Down syndrome. Like, their usual routine is something like this. The plan, I already told you, is the most perfect plan one can come up with. Being something like, alright, I will use the hero's favorite food to lure him into this machine. Everything goes according to plan. They got the hero where they wanted him, and all they need to do is press the red button. But instead of doing that, they're like, it actually worked! Laughing on and on, glazing themselves to a level where even the Paul brothers look like humble individuals in comparison. So, they either forget to execute the last step, or something completely random happens that saves the hero's ass. Something like, I don't know, a piano falling on top of the villain. Even if I'm on the protagonist's side, I still get frustrated seeing something like this happening. Like, just get it over with already. It's pretty strange, right? It's like you're a goalkeeper that gets annoyed with the opponent missing the most open goal you can imagine. I don't know why my inner football nerd came out. Anyway, I have so many examples, but my best example? Totally Spies. They always manage to get caught somehow, the villains will be there and explain their evil plan, and one of the girls will be like,
You won't get away with this.
Then the antagonist comes in with bullshit like, see this machine? It will give you fatal male pattern baldness in approximately 5 minutes. Have fun, girls! Like, just shoot him in the head, you incompetent fucking caveman! We also have other examples like Tom from Tom and Jerry, being so close to victory, but screwing it up one way or another. Like, Tom finally catching Jerry and then staring at him for 10 minutes straight, licking his lips and rubbing his hands. Menacingly. No wonder people came up with theories like Tom being a LARP, because if you really wanted him dead, you'd chomp his head off already. Then we have others like Plankton from SpongeBob, but I think we get the point. This is one of my viewers pointed out, and it's something that we've probably all noticed. Either both parents have their brains in their ass, like the Fairly Odd Parents, or it's only the father, who landed on the back of his head while growing up. I don't think I've ever seen a smart dad with a stupid mother dynamic. Here's the deal with the trope. The main character always comes in with a stupid plan. Something like,
10 masked men with guns and armor kidnapped my best friend. I'll go rescue him.
The mother obviously is like, don't do it, it's dangerous. To which the main character replies with,
Don't worry, Mom. I am very well prepared. I've got a wooden plank with a nail in it.
The mother then looks at the dad and says, do something about this. Then we have the dad saying, son, don't go. Without protection, here, take this cardboard armor. And obviously we have the mother, and probably you two, just smashing their head against the desk. And the perfect examples are Richard from Gumball, Peter from Family Guy, Homer from The Simpsons, and, well, a lot of other shows. I don't have much to add in, just look at this clip. It pretty much describes all of them perfectly.
I asked you to finally step up as a father, and the way you interpreted that was to take them shoplifting.
So anyway, that was it for today. Like, subscribe, comment something interesting, and goodbye.